But that just means that he's a badass.
He is a badass. But I'm not going to shy away from the fact that his actions this offseason have proven to me that he's ready to leave football. He's ready to leave his legacy on to other people. Because his name is up in record books and probably won't be touched by anybody. But, I don't know. Some of those records are insane. Like 50 touchdowns to one receiver in 1 year in a season. Dude.
Good luck.
No, if anyone
Most
will ever
people get
that.
like 18 to 25.
Yeah, he threw 50 touchdowns to Randy Moss in one season.
That's Randy Moss, though.
It is Randy Moss. He's a bit. There was a tweet going around on Twitter that the Patriots did of who's the best Patriots wide receiver. Randy Moss all day, just because of the records and the numbers he put up. If you imagine if Randy Moss played for the Patriots his whole fucking career, dude, the Patriots would have had like 6 titles just in that span. Dude, they would have killed teams.
He was so fast.
He was so fast. When he ran a go route, if the corner wasn't full speed before him, dude, he's leaving you.
Tyreek Hill catch him.
Tyreek Hill probably catch him.
That's
the fastest guy.
The fastest guy in the NFL.
That's the 4th fastest 100-yard dash in the world. They were saying that if he ran his 100-yard dash in the Olympics, it would have got 4th. He would have got 4th. He would have almost medaled, and he's a football player. Granted, a football player probably gets paid times 100 compared to an Olympic athlete.
But Olympic athletes still makes enough to survive. Yeah,
but they only perform, what is that, every 4 to 8 years?
Well, no.
Usain Bolt's been in.
Well, because it's every
3
years. No, it's every 2 years because the summer and depending.
Oh yeah, Summer Olympics are 4, Winter Olympics are 2.
It all depends on what they do.
They're trying to do the Winter Olympics in Denver.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I didn't know. I didn't hear how.
I think it was Mount Evans.
I didn't hear how they did though.
I don't know yet. It's still like.
Dude, this is a badass place to come.
If they did Breckenridge. Like Mount Evans.
Breck or Keystone would have been the tops.
I think Keystone would do it.
No.
Keystone's got some.
Yeah, Keystone's high enough too to where they have snow all year too.
Well, they make their ramps anyways.
You got to. You have to.
Yeah. It's basically.
But if you have the cold and the moisture, you can make anything.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's kind of hard to make snow.
Well, there's not much
degrees
moisture up there usually.
Oh, dude, there's still fucking mountains in the there's still a couple mountains that have snow on.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there's not moisture like in the air.
How is that possible?
It's dry. It's like dry air, not humid air.
Okay. Because I was driving around in the mountains all the way up to like Bailey, and there's mountains up there that still have snow on it. It's like, how? It's like 70 degrees.
Because the shade, man. It gets colder at night. It's like it gets colder at my place out in the night.
Well, and it's like you said, the lack of oxygen messes with the melting of snow.
Oh yeah. Well, if we would have humidity here, sometimes in the morning don't. Some people live here, you'd be like, oh, we have humidity for like 3 hours of the day.
If you've lived in Colorado for multiple years, you can feel the humid here.
Oh yeah.
But if you drove from here to Kansas and you get out of your car halfway, you're gonna be like muggy.
You go to Missouri and you're full mug. Yeah. I grew up down there.
Sweaty, nasty.
You walk outside your 68-degree house when the AC unit's blowing on high.
I love Colorado.
You walk outside and it's just sweat. Just when walking the bus
you can't even go outside in 100 degrees in Missouri.
It's not worth it.
You can go outside in 100 degrees here. It sucks, but you can do it.
It's just dry heat. I do
heat
all the time.
Dry heat's so much better than muggy, humid heat.
I can't wait for fall. You can't tell. Summer just started. And you see how dark I am?
No. We used to work the same job. What happened?
I'm full on tan.
I'm a white trucker.
I'm like as tan as I've ever been.
Yeah, you heard it. I'm driving trucks. But, you know, that leads me to another thing. I read an article that CDOT, Colorado Department of Transportation, is trying to get the lowdown on marijuana. Because, how do I say this? The numbers in Colorado and Washington and Oregon and the places that marijuana is legal, CDL drivers are testing positive for marijuana more than anyone else by like times 4. So long story short, CDOT is trying to figure out a way to test drivers, because when you're in an accident, you get tested on the spot for drugs. But as you know, marijuana stays in your system for 35 days, maybe shorter, depending on your diet and how your weight and how much fat you have on your body,
and how much you work out in the sun, how much you sweat.
Yep.
How much water you drink.
They're trying to figure out a way to, if you do test positive for marijuana, for THC, when you get in an accident, they want to be able to come over to you kind of like a breathalyzer when you're drunk and see if you've smoked or if you're high. Now, people have been trying to figure out how to test people for marijuana for
because the blood
50 years.
The blood test thing doesn't work.
They can't figure it out.
Because like the blood
test
works,
doesn't work.
It works if it'll show you a huge dosage if you're an everyday smoker. Because even if you're not high at that time, it's still gonna read what you were this morning. It's not gonna change for like 20 days. I'll just say 20 days. Not 30. 30 is a long time. If you work out
and I personally know truckers that have been driving for 40 fucking years and have smoked every fucking day for 40 years. Thank God they've never gotten in an accident to where they got tested. But doesn't that alone speak for itself? Smoking weed's like smoking a cigarette. Definitely if you do it every day. And granted, I can't speak for everybody else, but I would like to say that truckers don't get high while they're driving. So, it's kind of an after work or a weekend kind of thing.
I would personally rather them smoke and drive than do like cocaine and meth when they drive.
Well, I don't want anyone fucked up while they're driving.
Yeah.
But, yes, if we're going to pick the worst of all evils, if you're high on cannabis, it is the least of your worries being high on anything else. It's harmless. It's like, I feel like tobacco is way worse. If I were to smoke a cigarette, I'd be high as shit. Not even kidding.
Shit. I haven't got a nicotine buzz in like 3 years.
Be high as shit if I smoked a cigarette. Or a cigar?
Oh, fuck.
Oh, God.
I can't do that.
Wrecked.
If I inhale like 4 hits of like a fat cigar, dude, I'm done. I'm like turning green. And I'm putting it out.
Yeah.
Because I'm about to go throw up. Yeah. That shit's gross, dude. I don't know how people... Like, if you smoke a cigar, don't inhale, depending on the size, because, like, it's going to wreck you. My dad did that to my brother when he caught him smoking. I was a sneaky one. No, my dad never caught me doing anything. I could always ghost it. I had the like best lungs. So like, my dad caught my brother smoking one time, smoking a cigarette, and my dad went to the store and got 2 like pretty good sized fat cigars, and he was like, if you smoke both of those, you can smoke cigarettes in front of me. And my brother got to like 1 and like a quarter, and my dad was like, all right, eat the rest. My brother, just to eat it. Oh my god, dude.
Damn.
Uh,
Yeah.
That's all I gotta do.
God, that's terrible.
Yeah, and so long story short, my brother couldn't smoke. My dad, he literally gave up on me. He was like, just smoke a buck in front of me. I can smell it in your room, but I can never catch you.
Loser.
Because we had a really loud gate for mine and my brother's room. So, like, you'd open it and and you'd be like, throw it out the window. Spray real quick. Back on games. I ain't doing shit, Dad.
Dad, I wasn't doing nothing.
Wasn't me.
I wouldn't do
Because, like, my stepmom won't smoke, and, like, all my cousins were older than me, so they smoked in the house and shit. I just wasn't allowed to at the time. Well, to my dad, I wasn't.
You're not allowed to. Well, you know, it's just one of those things. So.
Do you want? We can talk a little bit about it. We won't get too into it because I have a lot of information on it. We can save this one for our next one if you're down with that. But we can talk about the last season of The Walking Dead. We can talk about that right now.
Well, I think I like that. I like The Walking Dead. And we're just going to give you a taste of the next podcast that is about The Walking Dead. So, I'm going to try and not give any spoilers away to anyone who hasn't seen the most recent season.
Give us 7 minutes and just come back to the video if you haven't watched it, because there's going to be spoilers. That's all I got to say. So, if you haven't
Very
seen
true.
it,
I don't know how to talk about this without giving some stuff away.
Yeah, so if you haven't watched the last season of The Walking Dead, obviously tune off for a few minutes and then come back.
Carl. That's where we'll start.
I really didn't want to talk about that one.
So that one was the hard. That was like losing Glenn
And Abraham, which happened at the same time.
And Lori. Dude, that was like that episode. Fuck, dude, that would make a grown man cry. Losing Carl was tough, man, and then they really dug into everyone's emotions in that episode with him talking to Daryl and him talking to Michonne and.
Well, if you want to know, season 7,
so brutal.
So season 7 started. Obviously, there was the cliffhanger from season 6 with them all lined up in a circle. They were just captured by Negan after he closed up all the roads. They couldn't get out, and eventually they just went in behind them and completely closed them off. They put them in a circle, and last moments of the season was Negan going up to someone and smashing their head in with his bat. Alright, so 7 started off, it was Abraham. It was Abraham who he killed. Beat the fuck out of him. Beat his brains in. Then Daryl stood up, tried to stop Negan, and Negan turned around and bashed Glenn. Finished Glenn off. Yeah. So, Negan basically gets control over Alexandria. He already has control of the hilltop. We learned that. Has control of the kingdom. And part control of the trash people.
Yeah.
So that's a huge thing. You know, the group, I'll probably say the group like 1,000 times, but the group is obviously Rick and the gang. You know, all the people we have, because we only have, I forgot what it was, like 5 people left in the beginning.
Something like that.
And so they go and they attack one of his command posts, obviously, and they take the command post, but they were hoping to find Negan there, and then they found out that that's just a little tiny speck in his operation. So Negan attacks them, blah, 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 blah. Then we get to, we'll just go, that's basically most of what happened in season 7A. That's basically